Hello, sparkly ones. I've been tossing around this idea lately that I wanted to share with you as I walk around and kind of show you my garden and the farm right now. I've been asking myself, in what ways can I sparkle and shine more? I feel like right now, with the world the way it is, a lot of us are feeling kind of disempowered in our lives, like disempowered in what we can do to affect change, because there are so many things happening in the world right now that personally I feel like are out of my control and they're disturbing. And so I've been coming back to this idea of consolidating my power, like bringing my power in, calling my power back to myself so that I can be shining as brightly as I can and affecting the atmosphere around me with my personal magic and just who I am, like what I bring to the atmosphere wherever I go. And in so doing, shifting the energies around me. So this idea of consolidating my power comes from this idea that we can get really dispersed in our energies over time because we kind of get on autopilot, and we're busy in our projects, we're busy with work, and then the next thing you know, we find ourselves kind of feeling as though for me at least, it's difficult for me to pay attention. Like my focus is in too many different places, and really that lets me know that I'm scattered, that my energy is scattered, my energy is dispersed, and I need to call my power back. I need to consolidate my power. And the ways in which I'm doing that are kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Very pragmatic, very practical. So one of the things that I'm doing right now, and it's really in line with the astrological energies of the moment, or maybe when you're watching this, that it's really about reciprocity. So I'm thinking about the areas in my life that I'm sowing into and what kind of return I am finding in those areas as a result. Sometimes we have something in our life that we started, and it really was something that was kind of a wellspring for us. It really nurtured us. It quenched our thirst. It nurtured our body, And then it starts having diminishing returns. And so it's important to kind of evaluate those places, like the places that we always go to in order to, fill our cup. So I'm really looking at my own personal practices, like what practices are really working for me and what practices aren't. Something can be working, but not really paying out the dividends that it once did. So I'm just trying to be honest in my life about the things that I'm doing and just how much they pay out, like even in my own business. Like, what is it that I'm doing? Is it really effectual? And does it keep me so dispersed that I find myself drained from it? Because when I find myself drained from something, I know that my outputs are greater than the inputs from it. And so I'm just kind of calling my power back, kind of looking at these different areas in my life, like my social life, my work, my interactions with friends. Like I've even noticed that I have some friends that are holding like mental space within me, and yet they're not really making deposits. And I know this sounds kind of harsh, but I always say Jesus had the 3, the 13, oh no, the 12. Sorry, it's been so long since I've been Christian. The 3, the 12, and the 70. So these were kind of like, circles of intimacy. And so I'm kind of moving some people to the outer circle. They're becoming more acquaintances, and just recognizing the level of the relationship that I actually have with them has called me to recall my power. And I'm feeling like, wow, it feels good not having my heart kind of over there with this person that isn't really doing that with me. And it's not that everything should be transactional. It's not that I'm cutting them off. It's that I'm just being honest with what relationship I really have with them. And then I'm looking at my work and what's working, what's not. Like I'm really looking at my newsletter and how I want to work that and what I want to be in that newsletter, how often I want to do it. what kind of courses I'm going to be teaching. Like, I have the ancestral divination course that I've done for years, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to retire that or upgrade it. I know that I want to move back into more personal readings with people, and so I've put that back on my site where I can work one-on-one with people and do more magical mentoring. These are the type of things that come out of my passion right now. Like, there was a time when I had to stop doing personal readings. Like, it wasn't working for me. It was draining me, but it's back to something that's ignited my passion. And so just kind of putting this out there for all of you to think about what's igniting you right now, maybe what fires are dying down. You know, things sort of ebb and flow. Nothing stays the same. And so as I do that and I just get really honest with myself, what I'm finding is that there's this beauty in recognizing who I am right now and honoring that. And I'm just feeling so much power come back into me. I'm consolidating my power and I feel really, really good about it. It feels comfortable. It feels enlivened. I feel like fresh flow coming into my life. And I'm still just figuring this out. It's not like I'm there and I figured it all out. These are things that I'm kind of visiting and revisiting. So maybe a little challenge for you to give yourself some time and space to really just sit with yourself and figure out what's feeling right now. Where are my passions? Where have my passions died down? You know, how do I feel about those passions dying down? Am I allowing myself to move on into new territory? Am I holding myself back because I'm camped out just in old things or at old places that don't really feed my soul anymore? And then that really kind of tells you about your own personal evolution and, you know, maybe some things that you need to work on. I know I'm seeing like, ooh, I really need to work on that insecurity. And then also, it's just bringing me into greater self-love. Like, wow, I can really celebrate how far I've moved on from that. I can really recognize myself and my own value. It calls me to put up greater boundaries, and boundaries are always about recognizing your own personal value. It really can be a glorious exercise, consolidating your power and just allowing yourself to have a good, hard look at the ways in which you're ready to love yourself more. Because as overwhelming as it is right now, the world really needs you to sparkle and shine. And in recognizing that need, you recognize the connectedness that you have to the world around you. And I know that I really see how important my life is and how precious the time I have is here in order to not just love others, but love myself, because I think loving myself is where it really begins. If you made it all the way to the end, put a heart down below and put a heart for me and put a heart for yourself. And let me know what you think about this idea. I know this isn't the normal video, but I think my channel is kind of headed in this direction of less refined videos so that I can just share with you my life and kind of my musings. This is really what I do. I just am constantly thinking about my magical practice and what I'm adding to this world. I feel a deep responsibility to be my best person so that I can clear karmic energies for my next lifetime, but also so that I can be contributing to the world around me and enjoying being in joy in this lifetime. So yeah, until we meet again, may you jump into a quiet moment of reflection to realize the ways in which you've grown, how great you've done. Take a moment to celebrate that, and then take a moment to cut off things that are ready to go, no longer ready to be, or to pull back those energies and consolidate your power. Sparkle and shine.